Hey guys, welcome to the second to the last of these medalist prediction videos of the 2022 World Athletics Championships in Oregon. I do want to apologize for missing the men's 400 meter video. A lot's been happening in the last couple of days, and I was not feeling that great Thursday night, so I completely said F it at that point. And I'll tell you this though, my medalist picks in that video were going to be Michael Norman for gold, Ryan James for silver, and Champion Allison in the U.S. for bronze, with that mention of possibly swapping him with Matthew Hudson-Smith. But of course, Hudson-Smith won bronze. Allison almost won bronze, but that was a great 400-meter race. But also about the 200. No allows, new American record, insane, third fastest 200 of all time. But here we go, though. Men's 800 meters. Oh, gosh. This event has been really damn insane. There's a lot to talk about with this one, so let's just get into the fiasco that's been the men's 800 this year as a whole. So here's who's in it, the final. Yeah, some faces that you probably didn't expect to see at this point. Now, depending on how your thought process is with this whole thing. Let's kind of start with this first. You see the legend over there to your right? Defending world champion? Well, did not make it. Donovan Brazier did not even get out of the first round. And apparently he's still injured, which sucks. Really wanted to see Brazier healthy at this point, but he still isn't healthy. He's scheduled for foot surgery for next week. I'm looking forward to seeing him back healthy, of course, for 2023. Of course, we do have the next World Championships in Budapest coming up in Hungary in 2023. That will be interesting. Yeah, in the first round of the 800, I do want to mention, I do have a couple of things I do want to get off my chest about that. First off, the heat that Bryce Hoppe was in. Look, this is the way I see it with that. Brandon McBride from Canada and the rest of the guys to the left were kind of squeezing in. Hoppe was trying to, McBride was kind of in the middle of it, and then here comes Hoppe with another guy to his right. Everyone's kind of filing in at literally the same time. Hoppe was kind of trying to get in between, basically. It looked like Hoppe may have tried to put his arm up a little bit too outward towards McBride, but what was next was definitely a call for McBride. Literally, not only like kind of that light jab out of the way, he just went like that and just pushed him outward like a good 3 lanes. And then all of a sudden, we see McBride literally go down and like that, snap of the fingers. McBride, I got clipped by somebody's heel in front of him, and I'm like yelling at the TV. I'm like, well, that's what you get. Was dropping some language there, I'll tell you that much. And I was just like hoping Bryce Hoppe would make it. He didn't even make it out of the first round. No U.S. athlete even made the damn semis, I think. Jonah Koech got disqualified. Another runner got disqualified in the first round. It was a chaotic situation in the first heat. My God, and then Emmanuel Career's heat. What the hell was going on in the first heat of the men's 800 first round? Your first round, the winning time was 1:49. That is, by season standards, season best standards, slow as balls. Yeah, let's just be real here, since we are already being real. And by the way, too, Emmanuel Career is the defending Olympic champion, mind you. Yeah, and then the semis, I think, were a bit more, I wouldn't say pedestrian, but they were a bit more, I guess, on the normal side, if you want to call it that. But either freaking way, and then a Great Britain athlete actually ended up being able to be in the semis. I think his name was, his first name's Fran, I forgot his last name, but he ended up getting reinstated into the semis, basically. It was insane. But here we are right now. Wide open. I don't know who in the hell is medaling in this final. I mean, seriously, any one of these 8 guys, if it happens to be at the right time, can medal, because that's how slow this damn thing has been. The 800 this year has been, some people have called it a crapshoot. I don't want to be that mean with it, but it's definitely having a down year. The fastest time has been, I think it's been who the hell ran the fastest time? Was it Wycliffe Kinyumal or something like that? I have no idea. Let's run through it. Enough jibber jabber. Let's go. Lane and starting. And by the way, these are where these guys are starting in terms of finals lane assignment. This is where they're starting at. Lane 1, Gabriel Toual from France. He made the Olympic final last year, but I think he finished towards the back of said final in the Olympics. Ran 144 this year, of course. He's been kind of sneaking up there. He actually looked solid at the end of the semis in his heat. So Toual may have a little bit more in tank left. We'll see. Lane 2, Emmanuel Career, of course, the defending Olympic champion. He has not looked great this year at times, but he did win the Kenyan Nationals in the 400 with a 44 high. Then in the semis, he ran a negative split, ran 52 high for the first lap, then he ran 52 mid to low in the second lap. I'm thinking, what in the world am I watching? He barely just passed his Kenyan teammate Wycliffe. Talk about him in a moment. Of course, Emmanuel career boasts a very, very serious person, a very impressive personal best of 142.05, but that was in 2018. I doubt he's in 142 shape. No way, after the way he's been running this year. Dahamal Sahadi from Algeria. Another interesting thing, too, there are 2 Algerian athletes in this. I think, yeah, that's a really interesting thing there, but that's cool, getting Algeria up there in the mid-distance rankings, of course. Back in the mid-90s, for fun fact, Nordie Morsilli was the basically the undisputed king of the mid-distance level, basically, for a little bit of time there in the mid-90s from Algeria. 143 mid, he's ridden that this year. Not a lot of information on him, but I know he's up and coming. He's like getting up there, getting faster. He's got quite a kick too, so Sahadi can definitely win this race. Saw him with that kick in the semis especially. We'll see how it goes. Lane 4 was where Wycliffe Kenyan was starting. My goodness. He has run 150. I about damn near said 153. Slow down, Steven. 143 mid. His personal best is from 2018, 143 low. Kenyan had a bit of a poor start this year. Then he ran 140. I almost said it again. 143, 140, 40. I'm going insane talking about this event because that's how strange this event's been this year. 143.54 is his best time this year. I think Wycliffe is capable of going under 144, but I don't know who in the world's going to really push the pace because I feel like everyone's first lap's like 52 seconds and then everyone kind of slows down just a little bit but also picks up the pace as well. It's kind of weird how it's been going. Like the fastest time I've seen is like 144 high overall before these finals. Wycliffe, by the way, was won gold in Commonwealth Games in 2018. Fun fact. Peter Bull of Australia, lane 5. He has run 144 flat, which is also an Oceanian record, representing Australia. Peter Bull looked good in the first round. Did not like the way he looked in the semis. I don't know what happened there, but he looked actually way worse than me in the semis. He did not look like he was hanging on very well in the last 100 meters. He came this close to losing it. He was actually the last person to actually make it into the finals in terms of just the overall qualifying sequence. He did not automatically qualify in the C. He was the last of 2 non-automatic. So I'm not sure if Bull could even medal at this point, the way that transpired. I didn't like that. Going from, yeah, to okay. Lane 6 is Marco Arap from Canada. I do like Marco Arap. He did not make the final in Tokyo last year. He used that. He got revenge at the Prefontaine about a few weeks later and won the 800 there. And I think Arap is continuing to try and make a mark saying, hey, I'm not letting this slip away from me. 143 mid this year is a seasonal best. He did run 143 low last year. Marco Arap, a threat to win gold. He's like 6'4". He's got such great... When he's in his form, he is hard to beat. I've seen that before, of course. We'll see what happens. By the way, he's also a Pan American champion from 2019. And by the way, I did like the way he looked in the semis. He looked very comfortable, and he ran the fastest time in round 1. Emmanueli, I think that's how you pronounce it. He's only 17 years old, and he's already quick from Kenya. Okay, 144.01 is his seasonal best. He's ran 143 mid last year. Same thing with Peter Bull. No, not quite, but Wanyonyi also had kind of a little bit of a scare in his heat. He was straining pretty hard in his heat with Arap in the semis. Not liking that too much. You got Slimane Moula from Algeria, Sahai's teammate. 144 low is his personal best this year. Pardon me on that. And I don't understand the whole thing with him having to outkick Arap in the semis. You didn't have to do that. What point are you even trying to prove, my dude? Whatever. Anyway, let's just get to the medalist and let's just get this over with because who in the world even knows? Alright, I I don't know. I went with a weird approach with this whole thing. I try to look at times from round one and then semis, and honestly, I feel like throwing times out the freaking window at this point because it just seems like everyone's wanting to run around the same time, and it's just really making this a lot more difficult than anticipated. But then I started thinking about, too, who could really medal if it came down to it. So there's a couple guys I'm thinking of. I would argue Gabriel Tuel. You could argue Sahadi. I'm going career because of his speed alone. He had that speed showcase in the semis. Can he do it again tonight? By the way, the final is in a few hours. I do apologize, I'm kind of getting this a little late, but it can happen. The Kenyans are going to really team up together in this one, I think. And I think this is where Kenya becomes dangerous and kind of eliminates the rest of the competition a bit. Why Cliff Kenyamo for silver? I think it's just because of the fact that he's a well-rounded, strong athlete. But I got a little risky, though, and I picked Marco Arap from Canada to gold because I just think if he runs a really strong race, it's going to be really difficult to challenge him. And I think he wants this really badly because, again, he missed the final in Tokyo last year, and I know that's been sitting with him for almost a year. And the way he's looked through these heats, he's looked really good. Some of these other guys, they've been straining a little bit. And again, like I said, Kenya is going to team up together, kind of like they did in the Olympics last year with Roach and Career. I do not expect anything less. Hadi's going to be right there, but this is going to be nuts. It's literally going to look like a smorgasbord of everyone's together, and then all of a sudden, whoa, what's happening? I have no idea what to describe this race. If you were to ask me the fastest time that could be possibly produced in this final, I'm not going to lie to you. I see nobody running under 143. I do not. The way this year's gone, no, I don't. But that's okay. I don't care at this point. All I care about is seeing a great race, and that's what matters the most, right? But thank you guys for watching. The final video for these medalist predictions will be the men's 5,000. That is a doozy in its own right, because who even knows who's going to medal in that race? You have everyone and their mom running under 13 minutes for the 5K. Oh gosh, that race is going to be something else tomorrow. But the men's 800 tonight, 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time or 6:10 Pacific Time. Hope you guys have been enjoying watching these events, of course. And again, congrats to Michael Norman and Noah Lyles of the U.S., especially for... And one more thing, can't forget. Cindy Mclaughlin in the world record in the 400-meter hurdles, she just shattered her own record, going 50.68. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't know how she does it at such a young age. But congrats to all those guys for doing the best they can, especially all the other countries, too. Can't forget about the other guys as well. Can't forget about everyone else as well in this event. It's been fun to watch. Let's close it out strong tonight and tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.